What if everything you were taught about money is wrong? Think about it. Some of the smartest people in the world still end up deep in debt. Doctors make huge salaries but live paycheck to paycheck. Engineers spend years studying complex systems, yet panic when the stock market drops. Even successful business owners sometimes lose everything because of emotional decisions. So clearly, financial problems are not only about intelligence. And that's uncomfortable to admit. Because most of us believe smart people should naturally be good with money. We think knowledge equals control. But money doesn't work like a math test. It's emotional. It's social. It's connected to fear, ego, stress, and habits you learned as a child. That's why smart people often make terrible financial decisions. Not because they're stupid, but because they trust the wrong parts of their brain. And honestly, you might be doing the same thing right now without realizing it. A lot of people believe that earning more money will solve their financial problems. Maybe you think, if I just get a better job, everything will be easier. But higher income often creates bigger problems, not smaller ones. Why? Because lifestyle grows faster than income. You get a raise, and suddenly your apartment feels too small. Your phone feels old. Your vacations need to be more impressive. You stop thinking about freedom and start thinking about status. And smart people are especially vulnerable to this because they usually compare themselves to other successful people. Imagine a lawyer who finally starts making great money after years of studying. She tells herself she deserves a luxury car because she worked hard. And maybe she does. But then the expensive car leads to expensive insurance, expensive repairs, and pressure to maintain a certain image. 5 years later, she earns more than ever but feels trapped. This happens everywhere. People spend money to reward themselves for stress created by the very job that pays them. That's the first big insight: intelligence does not protect you from emotional spending. In fact, smart people are often better at justifying bad decisions. They can create very convincing stories in their heads. Another problem is overconfidence. When you're successful in one area of life, you start believing you'll be successful in every area. A talented software developer suddenly thinks he can predict the stock market. A successful entrepreneur starts investing in businesses he doesn't understand. A doctor watches a few online videos and begins trading cryptocurrency at midnight. And sometimes it works at first. That's the dangerous part. A man once invested a large amount of money during a big technology boom. In 6 months, he doubled his money. He felt brilliant. He started giving advice to friends. He believed he had a special talent for investing. But the market was rising for everyone at that time. It wasn't skill. It was luck. Then the market crashed. He lost almost everything because he had become emotionally attached to the idea that he was smarter than other people. Smart people often hate admitting they are wrong. So instead of stopping, they continue making worse decisions to protect their ego. You see this outside investing too. People stay in expensive apartments they cannot afford because moving feels like failure. They keep failing businesses alive because they already spent too much money to quit. They buy courses, gadgets, and tools they never use because they want to feel productive. The real issue is not lack of information. Most people already know the basics. Spend less than you earn. Avoid unnecessary debt. Invest regularly. Be patient. Simple does not mean easy. And that leads to the third insight: smart people often confuse complexity with value. We live in a world where complicated things sound more impressive. People love complex financial strategies, advanced investing terms, and detailed plans. But many wealthy people became wealthy doing very boring things consistently for a long time. Saving money every month is boring. Avoiding debt is boring. Investing slowly for 20 years is boring. But it works. Meanwhile, People chase excitement. They want that secret investment. The perfect moment to buy. The one opportunity that changes everything overnight. A friend of mine spent months researching the perfect investment strategy. He watched videos every day, read finance books, and followed market news constantly. But during all that time, he invested almost nothing because he was waiting for the perfect moment. Another friend knew very little about investing. Every month, she automatically invested a small amount into a simple long-term fund and forgot about it. 10 years later, guess who had more money? The second friend. Because action matters more than perfection. And this is where financial decisions become deeply personal. Money is connected to identity. Some people spend to look successful. Some save because they fear becoming poor again. Some avoid checking their bank account because they feel ashamed. Your financial habits are often emotional memories wearing business clothes. That's why changing your financial life is not only about learning new information. It's about becoming aware of your patterns. So here's one practical thing you can do starting today. Before buying anything non-essential, pause and ask yourself one question: am I buying this to improve my life or to improve my image? That single question can change your behavior completely. Because many purchases are emotional reactions. Stress, boredom, insecurity, loneliness. Companies know this. Advertising is designed to make you feel incomplete without something new. But financial freedom usually comes from controlling impulses, not increasing income. You do not need to become obsessed with money. You do not need spreadsheets for every coffee you buy. But you do need honesty. You need to notice the stories you tell yourself. I deserve this. I'll earn more later. One purchase won't matter. Sometimes those stories are true. Sometimes they quietly destroy your future. The good news is this: terrible financial decisions are rarely permanent. You can change habits. You can recover from mistakes. And you do not need to be a financial genius to build a stable life. You just need patience, awareness, and the ability to stay calm when emotions try to take control. In the end, money is less about intelligence and more about behavior. And behavior can change. Maybe that's the most hopeful part of all.